So I'm so happy, really. I feel sometimes so proud of myself because when during the flood times I went inside to the houses, there was so much of snakes I saw. I was really afraid of snakes, but when I was entered into the home, I saw so many small snakes, and big snakes was lying on the lying inside the water because. And at that time, I want to save the children.
Welcome to the Harvest Bridge podcast. A part of our work here at Harvest Bridge is connecting local leaders in South Asia with people like you here in the United States. Through our podcast, we want to provide a place where you can hear their voices and listen to their stories in their own words. There is a transcription available for those who prefer to read these stories. For our third episode, we will share a report from Priya, who leads the GATE ministry in Chennai, India. GATE stands for Gypsy and Tribal Empowerment. The people reached by this ministry are generally among the lowest caste in India's social hierarchy. This has practical implications such as limited access to housing, jobs, and food. It also communicates at a bigger level how they are seen as people. To the government, they are subhuman. And until recently, the Gypsies did not have citizenship, but thanks to Priya's efforts, that is starting to change. We'll hear more about Priya and Gates Ministries in a later podcast. Today, we want to talk about the flood. In December of 2023, unrelenting rain due to Cyclone Mashang filled the streets of Chennai with water, completely flooding the Gypsy colonies. The community was already struggling just to survive. The flood was the final straw. Priya sent us a text saying, "Please pray as every Gypsy colony is filled with water. This is a very bad flood. Houses are totally damaged. Gypsies are not able to sleep inside their houses with their babies and children due to the heavy rain. Lots of snakes and insects are there. Without a house, they are all sleeping on the roadside and marketplace without any floor sheets. I bought floor mats that I'm planning to distribute along with flood relief packets." Even before receiving additional funds, Priya instantly responded to help those in the Gypsy colony, working to provide food and floor mats. This month, Kate had the opportunity to talk more with Priya about her experience during the flood. Let's listen to her story.
So I'm so happy, really. I feel sometimes so proud of myself because when during the flood times I went inside to the houses, there was so much of snakes I saw. I was really afraid of snakes, but when I was entered into the home, I saw so many small snakes, and big snakes was lying on the lying inside the water because. And at that time, I want to save the children because children was lying on the bed. So I wanted to carry them and bring it out. So the water was coming slowly, continuously. So the electricity was like, I don't know how it affects. Like then I was afraid of the electricity because old women are there, so they couldn't walk it. So if they touch the electricity, it passed through all the water. So I was wondering, oh, maybe I can go in the near midnight for 1 o'clock to save the people. So that was like so hard. And
Here, Priya talks more about the dangers of the flood that went well beyond just the rising water. The electricity could come on at any time, electrocuting anyone unlucky enough to be in the flooded areas. To make matters worse, poisonous snakes were seen in the floodwater as it filled the street. You'll hear Priya mention the snakes again later. They are one of her greatest fears. But this did not stop Priya from going into the homes to help. She worked tirelessly every day to do everything she could. When she would get home at night, she couldn't sleep, thinking about how much there still was to be done. But as hard as it was, there was one bright spot for her. Though the government was unconcerned for the fate of people in the Gypsy colonies, the support of people like you with Harvest Bridge meant everything to Priya. She could feel your prayers and credits the support from Harvest Bridge with saving the lives of many in the colonies.
But God's strength, if without God's strength, I never do. And I really thank Harvest Bridge who really supported us for this year and last year. COVID time also, a lot of people support us. And flood time, a lot of people support us. Thank you for that. Really, you saved a lot of people. That's why I'm saying always. You gave a life for us. Really, like a second life, maybe I can say, like people have a second life now.
She goes on to talk about how desperate the situation was. Not only was the water an issue, but the lack of food and shelter quickly took a toll on the Gate communities.
It's hard is also, we say, like a die, because it's very hard. Without food and without shelter, no, nothing, they lost everything. So it's you can't see when the people is suffering without anything. So it's very hard to say. Hunger is like a very big, painful life, I think.
In this next section, Priya shares more openly about this experience. Her words show us just how devastating it has been for her, and also the strength and courage she has shown in her ministry.
Oh no, Kate, I was like, my heart was like continuously crying. Automatically, I never stopped crying when I saw the people. Because that time, I don't know, my mind is also blocked. Where I have to go, where I have to take a children, where is this, where is this pass is also helping. But there was lot of snakes. I was really afraid. Oh my goodness. Oh, lot of snakes inside. Lot of new animals came inside. There was a crocodile, like you say, like in a different crocodile was there. Oh, how can I save these people? Oh Lord, give me strength. I was like in the middle. I don't know how to save these people, or old people, or newborn people, newborn children, or electric power is there. What I can do it? Oh, so
snakes and crocodiles in the water, the constant threat of electrocution, the most vulnerable people, newborn children and older adults, at risk. It all sounds hopeless, but in this devastation, Priya holds to her faith.
But God gave us strength and no damages, like no one died. So that's very special. We lost our utilities and the houses, but not humans. That was like a God grace,
Then Priya talks about the persecution against the people of this community when she tried to get them a safe place to stay.
And there was, I was experienced with, when I'm going to the marriage hall, I'm asking, can you help with these people to allow them inside the marriage hall? Everyone says, what? No, gypsies. No, gypsies. No tribes. They are untouchable. We are not allowing them. Then I said, I can pay for them. Can you allow? Then finally I paid like 5,000 rupees for the marriage hall to give them a space. So that was like so bad. They want money, but they don't see the people.
They don't see the people. The government doesn't see them as humans. But Priya knows her God does, and how important prayer is for them.
Every house is, oh my goodness. I couldn't take a videos, but it's a very hard time to take a video. But it's very, very hard, really. Not to have not to expose so hard, but really we need a prayer, Kate. That's why I'm requesting people to really pray for Gate. Pray for Gate. Please. I'm begging you, please pray for Gate. That's very important for us. Your prayer comes like thousands miles away from here to hear the people's sounds that brings a victory. So your prayers brings a victory, I know. So please pray for us. We are very honorable, thanking.
Priya did send a lot of videos during the flood to us here at Harvest Bridge, but here she shared that some of the worst areas she couldn't bear to record.
But then it's flood. Oh my goodness. Never seen this type of flood. When I was walking, this water was here. I was saying, don't go, because the water comes like very, very flow. So like, even though we don't know how to swim, that's very, very big problem for me. When I'm walking in the water, I was saying, you don't know how to swim. Be careful, because the water is coming here.
When Priya talks about how high the water was, she gestured to her neck. She went in neck-deep water to help. This would be dangerous for anyone, but Priya can't swim. Still, she didn't let that stop her.
When I entered into the house, there was like snakes and some insects, and the water comes on my mouth. I drank some water, bad water. Oh my God. So many bad things happened.
Getting the floodwater into her mouth was dangerous. The floodwaters carried sewage and disease, leading to illness throughout the colony.
Then one baby was lying on the like what you say, swing. The baby was there. So I entered into the house and I saved the baby and come out. I couldn't come out because the water level was increasing. Then one boy was come and he take the baby and he pull me outside. Or I also die on that time if the boy didn't come very fast. So God's grace is there.
In this last part of her story, Priya shared that she went into one house to rescue a baby, but then the water level rose and she was trapped. A boy came and helped her get outside. We couldn't be there in the floodwaters with Priya, but she felt your support. Thanks to you, Harvest Bridge was able to send funds to help over 2,500 families for $24,000. That's less than $10 per family to provide immediate relief. Let's hear one more word now from Priya, who wants to thank you personally for your support.
2023, they supported. So I'm thanking them because 2023 was like a hard time for all the Gypsy colony and tribes groups. So who are supported us? It's very grateful. Thanks. Even prayer support and financial support and physically, the people really touched by the heart. So they help a lot. So thanks for that. And our pastors teams also thanking. Every month support is receiving from Harvest Bridge and a relief package and COVID. Even though babies, if you are not supported for gate ministry, the baby surely die because we don't have a huge of money to support at the flood relief time. So you saved a lot of children and older women, elderly women, and you saved a lot of souls in gate ministry. So really, I'm so happy to say thank you. And really, I want to hug you all. So I don't know how to expose my feelings. So it's a hard time to say. And you are in our hearts. You are like Harvest Bridge is in my piece of heart. So I give my heart for Harvest Bridge.
The work continues as the Gate community still struggles to recover. God's work is not done. Priya continues to serve, and she knows you are here supporting her. Thank you for listening to the Harvest Bridge podcast. Follow us on social media or subscribe to our email list to learn more about the ministry of leaders throughout South Asia who are doing much with little.